The way I usually play the ukulele is in my stool right here. It is just short, it's flat, and it has no arms, which would impede my playing. Uh, I usually play it just sitting right here. Some people will raise this leg up. They have a special stool. They'll just put a book on it to make it easier. Sometimes I'll do that, but sometimes I'll just have it like this. A lot of times I'll just play it like this as well, like your classic sort of campfire guitar posture. And also other times I will hold it up here, which is basically just using my arm to wedge it against my chest. Keep your back straight and just try and make sure you're comfortable. Don't slouch too much. Alright, as far as where to hold it here, you're going to have a couple different schools of thought. Basically, whether you should keep your hand planted or you should keep it floating. And really, it depends on what style you're playing. If you are trying to develop a technical fluency in classical ukulele using like sort of the classical guitar style, then yeah, you probably don't want to plant your fingers. But if you're trying to learn, for instance, I have some lessons on two-finger thumb lead, and I usually plant my fingers, and I recommend that as well. So it depends on what style you're playing. But essentially, you want to be in a position where your thumb can pluck this finger easily, and your other fingers can all hit this one easily. So basically like this. I don't want to hold it that way because it's too much stress, but sorry. So that would be step one. Find your comfortable position, whether it was like this, like I said, like this, or like this. But you just want to be able to pinch the strings like that. Where you play on there, once again, that's up to personal preference, what kind of song you're playing, what kind of sound you want. This is called normale. This is where most acoustic guitar players probably play. Then you have ponticello, which is near the bridge. You're going to get a more aggressive sound. Or you can play tasto up here on the neck, which a lot of ukulele players find that this is the sweet spot right here. A lot of banjo players will play up here too, and mandolin players. Just gives a different sound. So, see? The muting does a different sound too. Boom. So, either floating or planted, but make sure you can grip the strings comfortably in the spot you want to. Alright, so what do we do with this hand? There's basically two main options. And I use them both, and I use them both interchangeably. Some people will say one is better, the other, just personal preference and what style you're doing. The most important thing is to try and keep your wrist as straight as possible. No matter what technique you're using, if you have a really bent wrist, it's going to probably cause some issues. So you want to try and keep your wrist straight no matter what. All right. So the two main grips that I do are the classical guitar grip. It's when you take your thumb and put it in the center of the back of the ukulele as such. Boom, centered right there. Your palm comes up here. You sort of form a C with your hands, and your fingers are perpendicular to the way the fretboard's going, and you come down right on top of the note you're trying to fret, like this. I'm not really in tune because I forgot to tune, but so that's your classical guitar grip. I use that. It's really good for bends, playing up the neck, for bar chords, and some really if you need like a really spread out chord or something, you probably want to be in this grip. The other grip that I use is the fiddler's grip. It's when you take this part of the neck, put it in the webbing in between your thumb and your index finger as such. And you sort of, on the last grip, your fingers were perpendicular pretty much to the fretboard. In this one, they're not going to be so perpendicular. They're not going to be completely parallel, but you're coming in at more of an angle like this. Instead of straight up and down, you're sort of sneaking in this way. Now this, once again, try and keep your wrist straight. Don't be like this. Try and go like this, okay? See, my wrist is fairly straight. Doesn't have to be straight 100% of the time, but it probably should be straight like 99% of the time. Like, yeah, there are going to be some chords and some things where you're going to end up, turning your wrist a little bit, but it should generally stay in a straight position. So back to fiddler's grip, like this. This is good for open chords. It's good for hammer-ons, pull-offs, little melodic runs right here. You can play stuff higher up the neck, but not as many things. And you can play chords high up the neck like this, but bar chord and spread chords are going to be a little bit more difficult.